What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to the third episode of the Black Hole Project, a perspective challenging YouTube series aimed at uplifting the Black community. Now, today's episode is not specifically targeted at the Black community, although there will be some tidbits that are specific to Black people. This video is for everyone. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I talk a lot about personal accountability and how I've made some really bad decisions in life and how taking some personal accountability has been able to take me from negative situations and put me in more positive situations. So that's what I'm going to talk about some more today, is just personal accountability. Now, we have all been going through this pandemic together for 18 months now, probably a little bit more than 18 months. And I've been doing some research, and the reason I laugh is because I've been seeing that meme going around about the average person doing their research and blah blah blah. I know there's people out there that think that research is specifically for people with PhDs and that type of thing. And I'm not talking about research into COVID-19 and the vaccines and the effects they have on the body. I'm talking about research in the sense of taking data and statistics provided to all of us by the CDC and just making sense of it. Okay, so pretty much everything I'm going to talk about today or mention today, you can get on the CDC website and find these things for yourself. So I'll urge you guys right now, grab a piece of paper and a pen and jot down some of the things I'm talking about, or rewatch this video and look this stuff up yourself. Let's see, I got a message. Not important. So I recently saw that the CDC conducted a study, and it showed that 78% of COVID hospitalizations were for people that were either overweight or obese. 78%. Real quick, let me say this. I'm going to say fat, not because I'm trying to be a jerk, but I don't want to keep saying overweight or obese. I'm going to just say fat. Okay. So 78% of COVID hospitalizations were for people that are fat. So I started digging into that some more, and I found on the CDC's website that 73.6% of adults ages 20 and up are overweight or obese, fat. I thought that was an interesting statistic because adults are 18 years old and up, right? At 18, you can buy cigarettes. At 18, you can go out and vote. So I would argue that if this statistic were to include people ages 18 and up, we're probably looking at 75% of adults in America are fat. 1 in 5 children are obese. So not overweight or obese, just obese. 1 in 5. That's a crazy number because childhood obesity is a huge problem here in the United States of America, and 1 in 5 is a lot more than what is being affected by COVID right now in the case of children. So I know someone out there right now who's watching this is probably saying, well, what about people that are sick or have illnesses that cause them to be fat? That's not their fault. And you're right. So again, I did more digging on the CDC website, and I found a few things that could cause someone to be fat, but it not necessarily be their fault. One of those things being hypothyroidism. But less than 5% of people in the United States suffer from hypothyroidism. Also, polycystic ovary syndrome. 5 to 10% of people in the United States suffer from that. And then Cushing syndrome was another one. 0.001% of people in the United States suffer from that. So about 10 to 15 people out of every 1 million suffers from Cushing syndrome. So again, the statistics show that the vast majority of people that are fat have done it to themselves, okay? Either through poor diet, unhealthy eating habits, or a lack of activity, right? And so I know now there's someone out there saying, well, what about the socioeconomic disparities amongst different races and blah, 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 blah. Well, I looked all of that up too on the CDC website. So let's dive into that. Among men, not black men, I'll get to you in a second. Among men, obesity is lowest amongst the highest and lowest earners. All right. So the people that understand that wealth is health and the people that are actually poor, that can't afford things, aren't fat. It's the middle class, okay? It's the middle class people that live beyond their means, that then turn around and say they can't afford to eat healthy. They can't afford to either get a gym membership or find time to work out. And funny story, one of my very good friends here in Arkansas, we were out this weekend, getting set up to hunt this year, and we were out doing some work. And when we got done, we got back to the truck, and the first thing I did was pound a bottle of water. The first thing him, his son, and his brother did, he's overweight. His brother, I would say, is in the obese category. The first thing they did was one grabbed the Pepsi, one grabbed the Mountain Dew, and they popped open some oatmeal cream pies, okay? Now, I did indulge in the Coke because every once in a while, I like a soda. But I can count on one hand how many times in a year I drink soda. But I also did have a bottle of water before that, and I'd been drinking water all day. But his brother offered me an oatmeal cream pie, and before I could answer, my buddy said, "Oh, Malik's a health nut. He don't want that stuff." And I just think it's funny that people consider other people who don't eat bad things health nuts, right? Like, I'm not a health nut, but there is no nutritional benefit to eating an oatmeal cream pie, right? Like, there's nothing good in an oatmeal cream pie. Just because somebody doesn't want to drink a cup of antifreeze doesn't make them a health nut. It does nothing good for you. All right. And I'm a firm believer in, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse, right? Nobody stays the same. So, and that's just an example of how middle class America works. People say they can't afford to eat healthy, go to the gym, but they're driving nice vehicles. They got the newest iPhone. They got all the, gadgets and things, whatever their interest or hobbies may be. They've got everything for that, but they can't afford to eat healthy. That's just them not prioritizing their health, right? And that is what I'm talking about when I talk about being accountable for yourself and taking personal accountability. But moving on, right? So now to black men. This is where it gets interesting for black men and women, but we'll start with black men because everybody loves to argue about, the wealth gap between black people and white people, and black people are so poor and we can't afford to do shit. Well, here you go. Amongst black men, obesity is more prevalent in the highest earners and lowest amongst the lowest earners. So poor black men aren't fat. Wealthy black men are fat. All right. Like, this is straight from the CDC. So all you people that are talking about socioeconomic disparities and most people are fat because they can't afford and blah, blah, blah. It's not true, right? Per the CDC. And amongst black women, there's no difference in obesity prevalence by income. So it don't matter if you're rich, middle class, or poor, 50% of black women are fat, okay? To me, that screams personal accountability and the choices that they are making. So there's that, right? And I wanted to read those things off to you because everyone's talking about the vaccine. Everyone's talking about wearing masks. No one is talking about what we can be doing better as individuals to help us get through this pandemic. And I mentioned vaccines, and there's some stuff I'm going to read off to you about the vaccine that it's almost comical that, this is what's being pushed and no one is talking about being healthy as a nation. All right, so here's what we know about the vaccine, okay? Per the CDC, guys, don't forget this. Vaccine breakthrough infections are expected. That's sentence one, okay? So what is a vaccine breakthrough infection? That basically means you have taken the COVID-19 vaccine and you still get COVID-19 and you're still able to transmit COVID-19, okay? So first sentence here says it's expected. That's right. They fully expect people to still get COVID-19 and transmit it, even if they have taken the vaccine. Again, I urge you guys to look this stuff up, right? This isn't me just making shit up. It's out there for y'all to see for yourselves. Let's see, what else does it say about these breakthrough infections? Fully vaccinated people with a vaccine breakthrough infection are less likely to develop serious illness. I would argue that people that aren't fat are less likely to develop serious illness from COVID-19, right? But no one wants to talk about that. You cannot talk about people being fat these days because everyone's offended. They're gonna say you're fat shaming. And that's not what this is about, right? This is about making people healthier. For those of you out there that, say things like, I like the way I look, I'm happy with my body, all of that good stuff. That's fine, right? You can love the way you look, but you have to understand that looking a certain way usually means that internally, you are unhealthy, you're sick, and it leaves you more susceptible to the negative effects of something like COVID-19. So moving on. How long does protection from a COVID-19 vaccine last? Their answer is, we don't know how long protection lasts. So in regards to the vaccine, no one really knows anything, okay? Another one here is, if I have an underlying condition, can I get a COVID-19 vaccine? Y'all listen close to this answer from the CDC. People with underlying medical conditions can receive a COVID-19 vaccine as long as they have not had an immediate or severe allergic reaction to a COVID-19 vaccine. What? So you can get the vaccine if you have an underlying issue, as long as you haven't had any immediate or severe allergic reactions to a COVID-19 vaccine. So basically what that means to me is, we don't know, but go take the vaccine and you let us know. That's crazy. So anyway, I say all of that to say this: personal accountability is huge, okay? Like I said, the numbers show who is being severely negatively impacted by this virus. And it's a shame that the media and the government isn't addressing what really is the issue. I have yet to see anything about removing certain products and foods off of shelves. I have yet to see anything about mandating any types of physical activities or exercise for American people. All we see is take the shot that we don't know much about, or you'll be punished. And I think that's crazy. So again, not trying to fat shame, just trying to share with y'all some of the information that I've come up with from my research, and hopefully motivate somebody to make better decisions. For those of you, like I mentioned before, that you think you're happy with your weight, or you think you're happy with the way that you look, I would say that you don't know, right? Because you've never been on the other side of healthy. And so, I don't think I know anyone that's lost 100 pounds that, after a few months was like, you know what, I'm really upset I lost that weight, I'm gonna gain 100 pounds back. It just doesn't happen. And so, I challenge you guys to go out and make better decisions, better personal choices when it comes to your health and your level of fitness, because, if you ain't getting better, you're getting worse. And a lot of people essentially choose death because they think it's so far away. Well, then we get something like COVID-19 that pops up and death is knocking at your door. So, be hard to kill, man. That's kind of my motto that I live by. I want to be hard to kill. And so I'm not worried about COVID-19. My wife, my kids, my close friends and family, we ain't worried about COVID-19 because we do shit different than most people. So again, personal accountability, man, it'll take you a long ways. So that's all I got for this video. Until next time, I'm out.